Hey everyone, back again. Another video. Now this one is another review of my local school department people. Clowns. They're that's all they are, is clowns. Here, switch this over so it's less dramatic. But yeah, so the school people messaged me back, spouting some more BS, saying that basically they're saying these people are spouting a federal law, saying that because this federal law says that student records are protected, that it is illegal, a federal crime nonetheless, to take a photograph of a school or a school bus stop. Saying that if one were to go to a school and take photos or video, or were to walk down the street and take photos or video of a school bus stop, they would be arrested and charged with a federal crime of accessing student records. These idiots, I'm saying it how it is. These idiots are openly misrepresenting and falsifying court records, altering actual written law to misrepresent the law so that they seem to be correct. They are saying that any person caught taking photos of the school or in the school or at a school function or of any school property is a criminal and will be charged with federal crimes. I dug in. I named off several federal rulings, U.S. Supreme Court rulings, Ninth Circuit rulings, our own state rulings on photography and videography on public property. Time, place, and manner. I brought that up and they said, well, that doesn't matter because this FERPA rule says that you have to have written permission and an opt-in. Parents have to sign an opt-in for school functions so photographs can be taken. I'm not somebody for the school function. A citizen can take photos and video of any school function on public property. The moment the school holds any kind of event that is open to the public on school property, that then becomes public property. Anyone can go to said property and take photos and video freely. Again, the city and the school board are openly lying to citizens in order to gain compliance. They are altering facts and misrepresenting laws to say things that they are not saying, to trick people into complying with their orders. Now, I don't fall for that. I don't. I really don't. And it pisses me off. It really does. Now, I send them long-winded emails correcting them on their mishandlings, and I keep getting responses back saying, no, you're wrong. This law that I happened to change the whole base of to say what I want it to say, that's what you need to go off of. Well, I read what you put, and then I went and actually looked up that law, and it doesn't actually say what you say that it says. Me, a citizen, walking down the street, I see a bus stop. I can take photos of that bus stop. If there's kids at the bus stop and they're getting on the bus, I can take video and photos of that action and use it in news, or post it, say, hey, the school bus, it didn't have a blinker, its light was burnt out, these kids were getting on the bus and the bus wasn't put in park, I can do that. Hell, for that matter, if I just want to take a picture of it and use it as a stock photo of like a background, if I want to do it like a backdrop behind me in something and be talking about schools, I can blur out the kids' faces and I can still use that photo. It is the intent behind it. That's the whole point. These people say that if I go to the school and I walk into the office and I'm requesting public information of student, the teachers, the student class sizes, if I want to know, how much each teacher makes, their total hours worked yearly. If I want to know these things, I can, because it's public record. What's not public record and what is covered under the FERPA BS that they're putting out is student records. I can't walk in there and go, hey, give me the records on this kid. I want this kid's school records. I want to know how many A's and B's he got. I want that kid's school information of, did he get shots? Did he get his immunization records in on time? I can't ask for that stuff. What I can do is walk in during time, place, and manner restrictions and take photos. If I want to step foot in a school's parking lot and hold a protest about said school, I can, as long as I'm not being loud or boisterous and causing a scene. I can stand on the sidewalk holding a sign that says "fuck this guy" and have a picture of the school superintendent. I can hold a sign that says "this school blows monkey ass." That's covered under the First Amendment. I'm on public property, speaking out about something. If I want to stand at a bus stop and hold a sign that says "this is a bus stop and it sucks," I can. But for some reason, this local school says, no, we have a policy that says what you're doing is a federal crime. Our policy says that you can't do that because it will have you arrested for a federal crime that doesn't exist. And this is what I've been fighting for a day and a half now. And it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous that this information was put out by the local police department based off of information put out by a school employee, neither of which had the brains to contact the city attorney and go, hey, does this actually mean what we think it might mean? Maybe? No, it doesn't, you freaking dumbass. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of schools and city employees trying to change the wording of laws to fit their narrative so that they can gain control over citizens through ignorance. An ignorant citizen is a compliant citizen. You're not going to get compliance out of me, especially when you're lying to my face and telling me that laws exist that don't. I don't play that game. I am willingly challenging this school to find a single federal law that says taking photographs from public, of public, is a crime. If they can't, they can bite my crank. So that's it for now. Hopefully Auditing, America and, Accountability for All and some of the other auditors out there chime in. I mean, I'd love to have them in my area and come to this school and straighten these idiots out. I'd love for them to go to my mayor and to my town hall meetings and tell them, hey, your school officials are retarded. Why are they even speaking out? They don't know the law, but they're seeming to, post a lot about federal laws that don't actually exist. There is no federal law that says taking a photo of a school property is a federal crime, which will land you in prison and on a federal registry. I already told you, if I'm doing it, you can't play the, oh, he's doing it because he's a pedophile. No, that's not what this is. That's not what this is. Not at all. You cannot, Miller versus U.S., you cannot turn a constitutional right into a crime. You cannot trespass somebody from public absent a felony or misdemeanor. You can't do that. Photography and videography alone cannot be turned into a crime. You cannot convert that. It does not work that way. But see you guys on the next one. Hopefully these people get their heads out of their asses.